Next on CUTV.
Tornadoes destroyed homes around Oklahoma City last week. Oklahomans are still trying to recover from the disaster.
Plus a story about an Octuplet mom who needs help raising her children in a tough economy. I'm Brooke Whiteley.
And I'm Cecilio Ramirez. Last night, the Aggie men and women's basketball team both defeated Southwestern Oklahoma State. It was a huge win for both teams, and the women finally got a win at home. Christy Taylor was simply amazing.
The men's team got their third win in a row and beat the second best team in the conference. Stay tuned for Top of the Hour.
Cameron's Ebony Society reaches a milestone and crowns a new Miss Black CU. You may have heard Michael Faget broadcasting home games on the Aggie Video Network. He's our newest reporter here on Top of the Hour. Michael was also on location to give us his story.
Saturday, February the 7th was a momentous day for Cameron University and the Ebony Society. Both entities celebrated the 30th year of the Miss Black CU pageant. Students, faculty, staff, and members of the Lawton community gathered for a luncheon at the Cetus Conference Room to honor Dr. Valerie Wynn. Dr. Wynn is the only living founder of Ebony Society and the Miss Black CU pageant. Dean of Student Services Jennifer Holland called the luncheon to order, and Ebony Society President Leah Shelton welcomed all of the distinguished guests who attended the luncheon. President Cindy Ross addressed the audience and shared with them the significance of the day's events. The luncheon also featured performances by Taylor Thompson, who won the Miss Black CU crown in 2008, and Whitney Jackson. Previous winners of the pageant talked about their reign as Miss Black CU and the impact it had on their lives. Afterwards, the Ebony Society honored Dr. Wynn with a plaque recognizing her years of service to Cameron and the community. Dr. Wynn then addressed the crowd on her tenure at Cameron, as she was the first African American professor on campus. She then discussed the history of the Ebony Society and the pageant. Later that evening, the focus shifted to the 2009 Miss Black CU pageant held in the Cameron Theater. 5 contestants competed for this year's crown. The pageant featured a centennial celebration with Old Kim and performances by Thompson and other talents. Each contestant demonstrated skills in an introduction speech, talent, evening wear, and a final walk on stage. After the final tabulations, Constina McIntyre was crowned Miss Black CU for 2009. Her coronation culminated a historical day for Cameron and the Ebony Society. Reporting for Top of the Hour, I'm Michael Faget.
Oklahomans are trying to pick up the pieces after tornadoes blew through the state this week. The tornadoes unfolded live on local television stations in Oklahoma City, but it was the small town of Lone Grove, Oklahoma, that took the worst of the twister. A half-mile wide tornado hit the town after dark last Tuesday. Many homes and businesses were demolished. A witness says he spotted a half-shaped funnel that sounded like rain and hail. He went on to say the best way to describe it is a big shock wave. Emergency workers say 8 people lost their lives, but some are still unaccounted for. Over 1,000 mourners gathered in Orlando, Florida as they paid their last respects to the slain Caylee Anthony. Anthony's grandparents held back tears as they eulogized their granddaughter. The service featured a montage of Caylee's short life. One person not in attendance was Caylee's mother, Casey Anthony. Anthony gave a statement through her attorney saying she misses Caylee every day and hopes to one day visit her grave and tell her how much she misses her. George and Cindy Anthony continue to stand by their daughter and ask the public to reach out to her. The Anthonys say Casey deserves understanding, love, and letters.
Winners from the 51st Annual Grammy Awards have been celebrating all week long. Artists like Lil Wayne and Coldplay came out as some of the big winners. Perhaps the biggest story, however, was during this star-studded event was what happened outside of the Staples Center. The couple formerly known as R&B's hottest pair is undergoing a domestic violence investigation. Just last week, Chris Brown and Rihanna were referred to in entertainment news as a perfect couple. Now former heartthrob Chris Brown is facing felony criminal threat charges after posting $50,000 bail in an alleged domestic assault. Rihanna and Chris Brown were both no-shows for their performances at the Grammys. Apparently Rihanna had visible injuries from Brown and was seen outside of a hotel. LAPD arrived to take statements from the victim, and she later pressed charges. Chris Brown was on his way to becoming a young pop icon with albums, movie deals, and endorsements. Doublemint Gum has already canceled his ad campaign, and his songs have already been taken out of rotation at several radio stations. As for his movie career, say goodbye for now, Chris. The public is not going to be too forgiving of a domestic abuse charge. Chris Brown is currently fighting a legal battle, and his attorney of choice is Mark Garagos. Garagos is well known for defending Scott Peterson, Winona Ryder, and Michael Jackson. Former Los Angeles Laker Elgin Baylor is suing the Los Angeles Clippers and the NBA. Baylor claims to be the victim of racial discrimination. The lawsuit states that the former Laker was unceremoniously dismissed as the vice president and general manager last October. He also claims the organization has salary disparities based on race and was told to induce African American players to join the Clippers team. Team owner Donald Sterling allegedly referred to the team as poor black kids and wanted a white coach calling the shots. Baylor says he was not fairly compensated, being paid $350,000 a year since '03, while other Caucasian coaches receive multi-million-dollar contracts.
New questions are arising about the California woman who gave birth to octuplets last month. Nadia Solerman's doctor is under investigation because he may have violated the guidelines for the number of embryos. The American Society for Reproductive Medicine says embryos can only be implanted at one time. Californians aren't too happy because the state may have to pay for the children's care. Back in 1999, Solman received a $100,000 check for a disability. After receiving the money, she knew she wanted a family. That's when she visited a fertility expert. Solman says without the doctor, she wouldn't have any children, and that's what's so amazing. The medical bills have already exceeded $700,000. The octuplets are expected to remain in the hospital another 8 weeks. An LA woman is filing a lawsuit against Miley Cyrus, representing the entire Asian Pacific Islander population of the city. Lucy J. Kim claims that Cyrus owes every Asian citizen of Los Angeles for civil rights damages because of a photo in which she and some friends are slanting their eyes. There are about 1 million people of Asian descent in LA. Kim claims that the Hannah Montana stars owe each $4,000, totaling up to $4 billion. Miley claims she's just a kid and didn't mean to offend anyone.
Wow, Brooke, I'm having kind of a difficult time understanding why they're making such a big controversy out of the whole image, because in the image there's actually an Asian kid that seems like he doesn't mind at all.
Well, even though he's the only one not slanting his eyes, still, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
She is only, what, 16?
Yeah.
She didn't mean anything by it.
I think the lawsuit's just a cry for attention, that's all.
Poor Miley Cyrus, she's always getting the hits, isn't she?
Well, when you're that big, that's
true.
What comes with it.
That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for tuning in on campus and at home on YouTube. If you'd like to see any of our CUTV programming, search CUInternetTV with no spaces.
Thanks to the crew and all the viewers who made Film Geek, In the Huddle, Pasión Universitaria, and Top of the Hour a huge success. Our YouTube programming has exceeded over 100 uploads and has received almost 4,000 views in its 1 year of operation.
Wow. Top of the Hour will be soon working with the Cameron Collegian to bring you live broadcasts on Thursday mornings at 9. Pick up the latest issue of the Collegian at newsstands all over campus. I'm Brooke Whiteley.
And I'm Cecilio Ramirez. We'll see you next hour.